Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Julie Demi and today we are going to talk about students' problems and complaints. Of course, I'm going to share how to solve them. Let's get started. First things first, a couple of words about me. My name is Julie Demi. I'm a Cambridge certified English teacher and a teacher trainer. I'm a founder of OK Education and I would be really very glad if you could visit my website. I will add the link in the description down below. So our plan for today would be to understand the students' problems, to see how we acquire the language and to come up with some meaningful solutions to each single problem that we will discuss. Alright, so what are the students' problems and complaints? Let's think about it and why they occur. One of the common complaints of my students is I keep translating from my mother tongue. Yes, it may happen that you want to translate something from your mother tongue because you speak your native language every single day. You think in your mother tongue, and obviously it's quite challenging and difficult to switch from one language to another, especially if the systems are different. But the thing is, it's manageable and it's possible. The most important thing here is to expose yourself to the language, and you can do it while listening to the audio, listening to some music, watching the news channels and watching the series, which I'm pretty sure you like. And of course, watching the YouTube channels like this one, for example, or any other that you personally like. Another complaint that some of my students have is I become frustrated when I don't understand the questions I'm asked by someone. How to practice questions? You need to write the list of different questions and you need to listen to different dialects. When you listen to the dialects, you can identify some questions that are asked, and you know that spoken English and written English are different. So something what you can see in spoken grammar, you cannot see in written grammar, and vice versa. Why? You might ask, well, just because spoken language is more about deducing something from the context, whereas in written English, you can't see something behind what is written. You can deduce something, but there are not so many aids to support the message. Therefore, the message should be explicitly written. All right, coming back to spoken language. In order to understand the questions better, I would say that you need to train your auditory skills. How can you do that? Well, the answer is simple. You need to expose yourself to as much listening as you can. And it shouldn't be only listening to the presenter, the news presenter or TV presenter. I would definitely go for some dialogues and some Q&A sessions when you have them. And it would be great if you could listen to both native speakers and non-native speakers, because it may happen that you work in the international environment and you need to understand different accents, which can be Italian, French, Indonesian, and many other accents. You need to distinguish them. So that's something what you can do. What I would suggest doing, listen to the question, record yourself and try to answer this question. Then look at the question again and listen to your answer. See whether the question and the answer match. And then here you go. You will understand how to approach this question later in a better way. Pay attention to the intonation while listening to someone asking you, because you may be familiar with the question itself, but you may be frustrated by the intonation and pacing. You may be frustrated by the stresses in the sentence and tone. In order to feel more confident, I would definitely suggest listening and practice listening to the dialects. Another problem that some students complain about is I speak slowly. Alright guys, there is nothing bad in speaking slowly. In fact, it's totally the opposite. If you want to become an effective speaker, you need to acquire the skill of slow, distinct speaking. And I'm not talking about being a snail or being too slow, no way. Though your speech shouldn't be faster than the train, you don't need to speed up in order to chase someone. Your speech should be eloquent and you need to sound concise without rambling, of course. So when you ramble, your speech becomes indistinctive, and when you ramble, it may cause a negative effect on the communication with another person. But in general, it's better than if you speak fast and make a lot of mistakes, because if you make mistakes and no one corrects you, they become fossilized. So speaking slowly is not a problem, as long as you don't make mistakes and as long as your sentence structure is coherent and your sentences are full of sense. Other students come to me with totally opposite problem. They think that they speak relatively fast, and mainly they take it from their mother tongue, where they tend to speak really very fast. Mainly I can see that Spanish speakers tend to speak quickly, and if you want to become an effective speaker, you should definitely slow down a little bit in order to let another person understand you, because speed is not the most important thing in communication. Making your speech understandable, clear, coherent, and distinctive is definitely something what you need to focus on. So slow down, take a deep breath, think what you want to say, and sometimes less is more. So the less you speak, the more another person may understand. So don't speak fast, don't speak slow. Try to choose the best pace for yourself and speak in this pace. It may happen that when you speak another language, your pace, your speed will be slower, and it's totally fine. Don't worry about that. Don't get frustrated. In fact, your brain works in this way and processes this information in this way and with this speed. And if you understand that you speak too fast, try to slow down. Try to read with intonation. How you can fix it? Choose 2 paragraphs that you will read out loud. Make sure that you make logical stops, that you have your stresses in the sentence on the main words, on the key words. Keep recording yourself. Listen to this recording and self-reflect. Try to understand what you did right, what you did wrong. Alternatively, you can ask your friend to listen to your recording. One more problem that all students suffer from: they cannot come up with collocations or the right words that are at the tip of their tongue, and they can't come up with them easily. Well, I understand you perfectly well, guys, because that's something what happens to me quite often when I want to say something in French. What I would suggest doing, first of all, if you want to come up with the right words, you need to pay attention to reading. Reading equals expanding your vocabulary. When you read, you expose yourself to the language, your receptive skills start working, and you start developing them. In fact, the more you read, the better speaker you become. Yes, it may seem a little bit strange, but when only you start reading more, you can see that there is some kind of correlation and dependence. You start speaking better, and you can come up with the right words much faster. Another thing, while reading, don't forget to take some notes. Don't write down every single word that you don't know, but you need to take some notes. Write some collocations, which means pick one verb and some words nearby. It may be the noun or it may be the adverb. It may be just a phrase. Try to see whether you understand it, and then try to notice if you can recognize this phrase in other contexts. Then you will see that you can come up with this particular phrase easier and faster while speaking.